Welcome to Present but Clueless. Today, we're going to discuss a very interesting topic. Many viewers have asked us to talk about it. Today, we're talking about divorce.
Yeah.
My name is Roselyn Kigen. I'm a marriage and family therapist. I'll let my team to introduce themselves.
So I'm Judah Domino, and I'm a poet and a youth pastor.
I am Honette Rimo. I'm a financial analyst and a youth pastor.
I'm Kelvin Zuze, aka King Blue Child. I'm a rapper, a pastor, and your boy. Yeah.
Wow, Zuze. I know. And you know what? Many people have asked us to talk about divorce for quite a while. Yeah. Today we were going to discuss it.
Yeah.
And we're going to start to tackle divorce in the eyes of an adolescent. And I'm very sure most of you have worked and have worked with teens who are going through divorce. Yeah. And the research has it that divorce is not a good thing, and no teenager wants a parent to separate. And research has it that children who go through divorce may be affected in their adulthood. Yeah. So let us dig into this topic. The effects on divorce on adolescents. Yeah. What are these things that these teenagers go through? Yeah. Things like anger. Yeah. Maybe I can start with Zuze.
Yeah.
The things you've gone through and the parents that have gone through divorce. What have you seen going through?
Well, in terms of anger, it's the bitterness that they hold, seeing how things are not working at home. Because every child wishes for a functioning family, a mom and dad who are in harmony and living in peace with one another. But when they don't see that, there's some sort of bitterness because they're actually looking at another family who's doing well. And like, why me? Why my family? Why do I have to be the only one who's sad? So they are angry at everyone, even sometimes God.
Yeah.
Like, God, why my family? Why did I have to be born in this family? Yeah.
Wow. Peter, what do you think?
So this is the case. Let me give the good aspects of the whole thing.
Yeah.
So most of the time they're like, if you are really loving God, then why do we have to go through this? Why do I have to see my parents separate? And sometimes, and some of them, like a child walked up to me the other day and was like, I hate my dad. Why? Because the mom has giving her this whole perception that he's the bad guy because he left and because he did this and did that. And that also makes her boil up and then transfers that same resentment to God because God is also a male figure in our head. But yeah.
So what I'm hearing from Judah and Zuzi is there's a lot of anger, and they ask questions and they blame everyone for the divorce, for their parents' divorce. And what about in terms of their behavior, Paulette? How does this child carry themselves? How do they behave?
Some, I think it depends, because you can find that one is very reserved and then the other one is all over the place. It depends. So now, because you'll find one just decides to be very reserved, like they don't talk to people, they feel alone, first of all. Either way, their parents are not on the same page. Maybe they're not even paying attention to the child, so they feel alone. So these are the things that cause depression, because you'll find that with time they have like issues and they have no one to talk to. And then now they're the ones that are all over the place. And then they spew this anger. So to each and every person that they are with or around, like their friends, they're just angry. So they don't speak positive things, they're always talking negative. They're hurling even insults to their friends. Yeah? Because that's the anger that has built in. Now they're transferring it to other people. Yeah.
So can be a child who has been bubbly, talkative, doing even very well in school.
Yeah.
But due to divorce, they just get withdrawn.
Yeah.
They change their behavior.
Yeah.
Or they just annoyed. They're angry at everything. That's a very order to for a teenager.
Yeah.
Now, and Judah, you brought up this aspect of one parent telling the child this other parent is at fault.
Yeah.
So it forces a young girl who's 16, a young boy who's 17, to choose sides.
Yeah.
Yes.
And who can choose a side? I mean, it's not fair. So maybe you can tell us more about what happens when a teenager is forced to choose between the dad and the mom.
Right. So they normally have this. So there's this also mentality which comes with it, which is like nothing lasts forever. So even when they are with friends or they make new friends, or even when something good is happening in their life, they are like, nothing will last. Like I saw this happen and then this disappeared. And they have that whole mentality.
Wait.
Yeah.
Let me see. That is sad. I'm feeling so sad as a parent. So they've seen their parents get married.
Yeah.
And then they've seen their parents separate and divorce.
Yeah.
So in their mind, they believe nothing lasts forever.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that brings up to what? Commitment issues?
Commitment issues, yeah.
Oh, so maybe
Yeah.
I just
because
wanted
in the beginning, when they were growing up, because parents normally decide to hide these things from their children, but then when it gets to a place where they cannot control their anger and stuff no more, and then one person has to leave the house, and the child begins to see that the goal they saw is now not, and then so when they are stuck with their mom, and their mom is like, your dad left us, he's with another woman, he's this, he's that, he's this, he's that, and they walk around carrying that baggage of this is just, nothing lasts forever, I'm so pissed off or so annoyed at the world, why does this have to happen to me, and stuff.
Even sometimes you create, there are kids who become manipulated.
Yes.
Because they know they will get away with anything. If I go to dad, I will just speak badly about mom, and dad will give me what I want. If I go to mom, I'll just speak badly about. So when you're growing up, you're a very manipulative person. Yeah.
I think with that, it's because even some parents decide to start bribing their children. So I do what you want for you to prefer me to your mom or dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it becomes like a competition.
It's a competition now. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what happens to this child? I mean, really, if become manipulative, it's more of like self-centeredness.
Yeah.
Because it's me, I, and myself.
Yeah.
You people, the world does not understand what I'm going through.
Yeah.
So I have to almost like self-destruct.
Yeah.
To make a statement of what I'm going through.
Yeah.
And let us be on record that not all children go through this.
Yes.
Yeah, but some go through them. So what are these self-destructive things that these children can go? Do you think adolescents can go through?
As they grow up.
Yeah, as they grow up.
What do you think?
I feel like, first of all, because it's about you, yourself, and just you, it doesn't matter. So you believe that you can get anything in the world, right? Because if I go to dad, dad is going to give me. If I go to mom. So they grow up knowing that I can get whatever I want, whenever I want. So you don't consider anyone else. You don't consider people's feelings. You don't consider what they think. It's about you getting what you want, despite if it's the right way or the wrong way.
So you walk around feeling like everybody owes you.
Owes you something,
Like you're the one.
Like entitlement.
Yeah.
And this can bring self-destruction things like started drinking, they hide in drinking, they have alcohol, going to relationships.
Yeah.
can you maybe, let's talk about that.
I feel like even in relationships is when you go into a relationship and feel like you're entitled, you don't, like the relationship is about you. These are people who become narcissists. Yeah. So now that can be, it's about you in a relationship. So if I ask for this, you need to give me this. So they don't even maintain relationships and friendships because no one wants to be around such a person, honestly.
And for them, they feel like if you do this, if I ask for this and you do this, then it means you stay. It means you are better than my dad who worked out. Do stuff for me to know that, like, let me see your loyalty. Like, every day your loyalty is tested.
Wow. Let's bring in the aspect of divorce due to domestic violence. Yeah. You've seen, and you know what? Domestic violence can be both sides.
Yeah.
Even can be the woman beating the man.
Yeah.
The husband. Or the husband. Yeah. So, and I've seen some in therapy coming and saying, you know what, it is even better for my mom and my dad to separate because now my home is quiet.
Yeah.
Isn't that not very sad? It's very sad. For a child a 17-year-old child walking in and telling you, you know what, there was a lot of fight in my house and I'm glad my mom walked out, or I'm glad they're no longer together.
It's really sad.
It's really sad. So you as Zuze, as a young man, yeah, what do you think goes around this young man's head, especially when seeing relationships way forward?
I mean, it also that's that thing of you don't trust men or you don't trust women because all the women that you're around or all the men that you're around who you looked up to have disappointed you. So even growing up in your relationship, your friendships and everything, you just don't trust people, or sometimes you're even violent because you feel like this is the way we resolve stuff. Because that's what happens at home. So you're like, you take things by force, you know, so there's just a lot that corrupts the child.
So as growing up, I've heard you say they'll be overly cautious when they're going into relationships. They'll have trust issues. And have commitment issues, as you're saying. Will this child have an oomph or an urge to fight for a relationship?
Actually, that's what I wanted to say. Because I feel like it brings in being afraid. You're afraid. So you don't know how to stand up for yourself. So you've learned that it's
the concept of love
is that it's always being afraid. So you don't even stand up for yourself. You can't say no. You don't know what no is. So even fighting for a relationship, you let someone tell you to do things that are not even right, but you just say yes. Because you're afraid they will hit me, they will do this, because that's what you've seen.
And you also walk into a relationship with the back door open. So like if you come, you mess up, like, you know, I'm out. Like I can't do this. I don't want whatever happened to my mom or whatever happened to this person happened to me.
So you enter a relationship with an exit plan.
Yes.
And a very skewed view about love. Because you feel like love is, you know, when you're suffering for someone and you're staying, you think that's love. You know? You think because I'm doing everything, like I'm giving myself, even taking the beating in the name of love, but that's not love.
And all this we're discussing is what we've actually heard the teenagers we've worked with along the way just giving us feedback. It's not coming from us, it's just what we've seen and the researches we have read. What I know and what I understand is the pain for children, and now, you know, teenagers are at that stage where they can hear, they're looking for their identity, they're looking for their independence. The pain comes, especially, and one of you must have alluded to it, is when the parents are meeting, divorced parents, or your divorce is going through, when you're meeting and you're still fighting and you're still abusing each other in front of the children. Yeah. And you say that brings a lot of anger. The children withdraw.
Yeah.
Grades in school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are not at peace at all.
Yeah.
They're not at peace at all. Yeah. So, all is not lost. I believe all is not lost. As long as we are alive, all is not lost. So what are these things that we can do? We can tell parents. We can tell their young people to do, to help them come out of all the things we discussed. What are these things we can do? Yeah. How do we help parents and the children? Yeah.
How do we help the young people or the parents?
Let's start with the parents.
Okay.
We start with the parents.
I feel parents should communicate. Don't. If you have a problem with your husband or you have a problem with your wife, don't send a message through your child. Or don't make an example of your child. Don't turn out like your dad. He's this, he's that, he's this. You have to stop that. And for the child, communicate to someone. Find someone you can talk to, and then let them help you think about this and how to communicate with your parents and tell them, you know what, Dad, you know what, Mom, I don't like it when you do this, I don't like it when you do that. Or try and bring the two of them together, someone who they can listen to, like their pastor or whoever who they respect, and help them sit down and let them have a nice communication, an agreeable communication. Yes.
So what I'm hearing you say is, as parents, who are the adults in this relationship, try and improve your communication.
Yes.
Because the way you communicate hurts the children. Not even now, but even in the future. And you can see you can bring in people to help in the communication. And we have mediators. Even in intentional parenting, we have mediators that can come and help people mediate between the two of you. Yeah. What other things can we do to help parents?
I feel like parents should always speak positive about each other. Just speak, even if you are separated. Like, try and speak positive about even if it's your ex-husband or ex-wife. Just try and speak positive and make sure they are present. Because it's parenting, you're supposed to come together. Make sure that they are present. Make sure that you speak positive so that this person grows to know that even if we are separated, my dad or my mom is still there for me. They still love me. They both are there for me. That is the most important thing.
It's good you brought it up because our next discussion is your co-parenting. And then we'll see how do we communicate? How do we not insult each other? How do we bring our children together as co-parents? What other things do you think we can do?
So parents, what I can say is try not to divorce. If you're in that position, then in that tight position, just please maybe look for help or something, because that child's future is dependent on you guys being together. Because what happens is when it's a broken family, it creates a broken person, which also it's going to create a cycle. And when they go into their own relationships, it'll cause problems. So we're going to have a broken society.
Wow, thank you so much. Wow. And what I can say is, if a divorce has to happen, it's very important for parents to communicate and talk to their children. Talk about it as the divorce is going on. If you can't do that, at intentional parenting, we take the children through divorce for their parents. Thank you so much for tuning in. Next week we'll talk about co-parenting, and also we'll discuss how effective, even after divorce or during divorce, we can parent children together, both as a couple. See you next week.
Bye.
Intentional Parenting will run a mentorship program for boys and girls aged 14 to 18 every 2 weeks for 5 weeks. Topics include social media, drugs and alcohol, career, sex and sexuality, identity, and parenting sessions for parents with registered teens. Registration is open now at 5,000 per teen. Classes begin on the 12th of September 2020. Contact us on the shared details below. Let us be the village for your teens.